This is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Good evening, I'm Desmond Saunders. Thanks for looking in. Another voice is shedding light on the Pledging Conference, an event to raise money for Dorian relief efforts that has morphed into controversy over the amount of funds actually raised. Prime Minister of the Bahamas, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, addressed it at the Bahamas Business Outlook, calling critics poorly informed. Today, a permanent secretary also sought to bring clarity. Cleopatra Murphy reports.
As the public continues to question the accuracy of government's reporting on just how much was raised through this week's Hurricane Dorian Pledge Conference, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Disaster Preparedness, Management and Reconstruction, Carl Smith, says there was transparency from the start. He addressed the issue on the sidelines of the Canada-Bahamas Reconstruction and Resiliency Business Forum at the Melia Friday morning.
Quite frankly, I don't quite understand the confusion over this whole issue. We've said over and repeatedly, it was a pledging conference and persons or entities have made their pledges in different forms.
The Office of the Prime Minister had announced that governments, NGOs and other parties had pledged a total of $1.5 billion in recovery funding and in-kind service, also stating that pledges included initiatives from home building repair, relief aid, grants, in addition to loans and financing. However, after the revelation that the bulk of that, some $975 million, is a concessionary loan from a U.S. company, the P3 Group, some have called the tally into question, but Smith again stressed pledges came in different forms.
The P3 company itself made a public statement as to what their proposal is to government, and it has been explained to the Bahamian public that it was a proposal put to government. So no decision has been taken with respect to that particular proposal at this time. The government itself has a public-private policy, PPP policy, that was in place prior to the storm.
Smith also provided an update on Hurricane Dorian recovery efforts, particularly on the island of Abaco, where he says a team from the ministry is currently on the ground engaging residents, adding that debris removal is ongoing as well as rebuilding of infrastructure that is underway. To date, he says government has collected $7 million.
Some 6 or so million of that have been spent. Now, a lot of that is in relief, immediate response and temporary housing and the likes.
Speaking to the planned dome housing for Hurricane Dorian evacuees, Smith says there is a criteria for residents to get into those temporary residences, but it is also being managed by the Ministry of Social Services and the Bahamas Disaster Reconstruction Authority. Minister of State for Disaster Preparedness, Management and Reconstruction, Iram Lewis, earlier this week shared that 40 domes have been constructed. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.